Good afternoon. I'm Alan Unell, and this series of videos is Healthcare Advocacy, where we address problems in the healthcare system and then try to take actions to make a better system for all of us. We have a lot of topics today. One of them has to do with dementia, and it was really encouraging when I read it. Anyway, before we get to that, I want to point out that down below in the YouTube description box, you'll find a link to the Healthcare Advocacy newsletter, which is the text for today's video. All of the links to the medical research and actions and backup material and a host of other references down at the bottom of the newsletter are available to you. And you can subscribe to the newsletter for free and get it delivered to your inbox almost every day. Anyway, let's get started. I want to talk about the liver, the human liver, and dementia. I was just shocked when I read this. About 13% of individuals diagnosed with dementia may actually be suffering instead from reversible cognitive decline caused by advanced liver disease. This is according to researchers from the Virginia Commonwealth University School of Medicine and the Richmond, Virginia Medical Center. They published recently in the American Journal of Medicine, and I think there's a link in the newsletter to their work. The new analysis of non-veteran patients corroborates and extends the research group's earlier work, showing that about 10% of U.S. veterans diagnosed with dementia were instead suffering from cirrhosis of the liver. Those findings appeared in the veteran study appeared in the Journal of the American Medical Association Network Open this past January. It can be difficult for physicians to differentiate dementia from hepatic encephalopathy, liver-caused dementia, which is the cognitive decline caused by cirrhosis. If it's undetected, patients may not receive treatment that can reverse or halt the impairment. Hepatic encephalopathy is a nervous system disorder brought on by cirrhosis of the liver, an advanced form of liver disease in which patients experience severe scarring of the liver. When the liver doesn't work properly, toxins build up in the blood, and the toxins travel to the brain and can affect brain function, leaving patients confused or delirious. Widely available medications actually can readily rid the body of the toxins and reverse the condition, but without treatments, the patients lapse into a coma and die. The new VCU-VA analysis suggests that physicians treating veteran or non-veteran patients with dementia, even without a cirrhosis diagnosis, should consider assessing them for liver disease. Identifying cirrhosis early on may point to reversible causes of cognitive impairment, potentially improving the lives of these patients. And there's a link to the medical research there, which I encourage you to read. The next thing I want to talk about, I want to really encourage you to go to the newsletter because I have a number of charts in there that are valuable, okay? And they will augment what I'm going to tell you. The U.S. government negotiated drug prices for Medicare on about 10 drugs this past year, and they're scheduled to do a few more every year. Now that's good, but it was only 10 or so. Now, a few are going to be added, as I mentioned, in the years coming as we move forward. Now, we have a healthcare system that is designed not for healthcare, but it is designed to make money. Optimum health is not what it is aimed for the maximum number of people. Now, the Kaiser Family Foundation put together an analysis of prescription prices for the Medicare negotiated drugs compared to the prices paid in other countries. Those other countries, there were about 11 of them, they are highly industrialized peer nations of ours, and all of them have universal health care one way or another. Some of them have private nonprofit insurance benefits, some have for-profit insurance funds, some have government insurance trusts, but they all negotiate all drug prices. In all but one instance, it was the price of Stelara in Germany. Every country in the comparison had lower prices than the Medicare negotiated prices for the 10 drugs Medicare negotiated. In nearly half of the cases, Medicare's negotiated prices are over 3 times the prices in comparably large and wealthy nations. The countries most commonly having the lowest prices, in case you need to know, Japan for Jardiance, and Entresto, and Enbrel, and Imbruvica. And Australia had the lowest price for Eliquis. I think I have friends who take that. And Xarelto and Farxiga. Germany and Canada most often had the second highest prices relative to the Medicare negotiated prices. But they were still dramatically lower than the United States. If you look in the chart, you will see that we pay between 59% and 289% more than these other countries. Now, before you tell me that we in America have to pay more for drugs because the pharmacy manufacturers need money for research, let me loudly say bullshit. According to the New Economic Institute, and I have a link to their analysis in the newsletter, every new drug that was developed and put on the market from 2010 to 2020, in a decade, was all developed by U.S. government funds. You got it? So we, the people, from our tax dollars, pay for them to develop it. They go to market it at excessive cost, and we get soaked. But they don't do it in the rest of the world. Isn't that something? So what drug companies want is just unbridled access to cash. And there's a link to the Kaiser Family Foundation story. Look, if you need something to put in your pocket that says, I need another reason why we need universal health care, this is it. Because universal health care fixes it, and it fixes it really fast. Okay, that's what I've got for you today. Down below, you can like, share, subscribe. You can send me comments. I'll answer them as fast as I can, or send them to me at healthcareadvocacy1, all one word, @gmail.com. Thanks. Have a good evening.